Good afternoon, and welcome to a home vlog. You guys ever been with somebody so long, but yet there are things that you guys think about completely different? Like the way that it goes through your mind is completely different than the way that it goes through my mind.
What?
So we are trying to brainstorm how to make Jackson's costume right now.
Yes.
Right? And he wants to be Jackson Storm because he
Right.
had the same name.
He loves cars. He recently got a Jackson Storm remote-controlled car.
Yeah.
Loves it.
Yeah.
Big fan.
So he wants to dress up as Jackson Storm for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And the spoiler alert, they don't make Jackson Storm costumes.
No.
So we have to make it ourselves. In my mind, I see it one way. But when I tried to explain that to you, you said, that sounds way more complicated than it needs to be. And you said, well, just do it this way. And the way that you said it sounded way more complicated than it needed to be to me.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get like a cardboard box. He's gonna wear it like with straps like suspenders, and he's gonna be inside of the car, And my plan was you get a cardboard box, and then you have the rectangle shape, right?
Right.
Jackson Storm, he looks like this. I'll put a picture of him here so you can see what he looks like. So obviously he's not just a rectangle box.
Right.
He has like a spoiler and a front, hood piece, and the back piece is a little different, and the wheels. So I would just add with hot glue on top of the
Existing
rectangle
box.
Yeah, I would add the other little pieces of cardboard to make the front and the back and everything.
Right. What I was saying was we get a picture of Jackson Storm. Mm-hmm. We print it out real big.
Okay.
Then we glue that to a piece of cardboard.
Uh-huh.
Then we cut the outline of that shape. And then we use another piece of cardboard to follow the outside of that shape to create the hood and the trunk. And then we put a spoiler on.
It just seems, I don't know, my way just seems easier to me.
Yours was like, add this, add this, add this, add this. Mine's just like, cut it out and put a spoiler on it.
That to me is like, that's like cheating. I want to make his costume. I don't want to print out a thing from
Right.
Etsy or something.
Okay.
I want to make his costume.
All right. Therein lies the difference.
That's not the difference. Okay.
Mine was just going to be printed picture Jackson Storm on the outside.
This is
But
kind
you
of like,
wanted to paint Jackson Storm.
no, I want to make his costume.
Right.
That is like, I don't want to just, I think that's where we differ in general.
Right.
Is you're always like, let's do the easiest thing. Even if it's not the best thing.
I think that it would turn out the best looking.
I don't think that's true.
Okay.
I think the best looking is the one that we make ourselves.
Okay.
Okay, so for Jackson's first Halloween, we made his costume. He was Piglet dressed as a butterfly, which is how Piglet dresses for Halloween at Disney World. And that was so special.
Right.
Like we completely made that. It wasn't like 100% identical to Piglet, but we made it.
Right.
And it was like the best costume ever in the world. So I want to make his costume.
Okay.
I want it to be special, and I want him to be a part of it.
Right.
So like he can help with the painting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
So there you go. I don't know what the baby's going to be though, because it's going to be his first Halloween
He's
too.
going to be Tomater.
I don't know how we're going to do that.
We can't do that.
That's
that
going
one
to be
we'd have to buy.
That's going to be hard. We could figure it out, but I think that's going to be really hard. I think we can only manage one this year.
Yeah.
So we'll figure out the baby's costume. Maybe he can be like the pit crew.
Oh, Luigi?
No, like a little person pit crew.
Oh, okay. Stepping outside of the Cars universe.
And I'll be like the girl with the flags, the one that's like, race, go racers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what are you going to be?
I was going to be Lightning McQueen, but I wasn't going to be an actual Lightning McQueen. I was going to dress like Lightning McQueen's driver.
Yeah.
See? Just wear like a pit crew, not a pit crew,
Like
a racing suit.
Yeah. So we have a jumper. What do you call that? A jumpsuit. So back years ago, I think it was before we were vlogging even.
No, we were vlogging for this.
Were we?
Yeah.
We were you know what the Nyan cat is?
Yeah.
The cat who is like farting a rainbow in space.
And he's like made of toast also.
But what's he sings like a song.
All I can think of is lollipop, lollipop, yum, yum, yum. But it's not that.
That's not the song.
It's not that song, but it sounds like that, right?
Yeah, I think it does. But so the Nyan cat is like an 8-bit, he was like an 8-bit cat. And he's made of toast. He's flying through space, farting a rainbow.
Right.
And so we dressed as the Nyan cat. So you were the cat and I was the rainbow.
I thought it was the other way around.
Oh, I was the cat and you were the rainbow.
Yeah.
You're right. So we had this like painter's jumpsuit, and we spray painted a rainbow on it, and then I dressed as a cat, and then you walked behind me.
Yeah.
And that was our costume.
That was it. It was a hit.
It really was. You know what's actually really funny is that same party or wherever we went where we were dressed up, somebody else dressed as the Nyan Cat, and I felt bad because our costume was better.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, but I thought maybe we could take that jumpsuit. Do we still have it?
No.
Oh, no?
I'm sure that it probably...
How could we get rid of such an iconic...
Well, maybe we still have it. You know what? We do still have it. It's in the Halloween costume box.
Okay.
The box that Jen puts things in that never to be seen again. But she says, we could use this for a costume.
Right now.
Yeah.
We could dye or paint that costume red.
Right.
And have a red jumpsuit. And there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is what we were doing today. It's Halloween. I know it's not really Halloween, but we're getting ready for Halloween.
I feel like now's the time that people start decorating. There's people with Halloween decorations up in our neighborhood.
Yeah. Oh no, totally. So the other thing is that we're celebrating Halloween early, like kind of soon, and we need the costumes for that purpose, for that instance. And so that's the other reason why we gotta get on this.
Right.
The other thing that happened recently, so you guys are probably like, where have you guys been? You haven't been uploading. So we went out of town. We didn't go out of town. We went to a Disney resort for D23, Destination D23. I couldn't really edit during that stay. It was a lot. So, but also recently the baby had his flu shot, and he's sick right now. He's not like sick, but he's
a runny nose.
Yeah, like the flu shot, but he's also kind of like tired and like, you know what I mean? And I think the flu shot affected him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I feel like that's why he is feeling a little bit under the weather.
Okay.
So the flu shot can do that. That's like one of the side effects. But it's also like if you were to get the flu, it would not be as severe if as if you didn't have the flu shot. So we opted to give him the flu shot. So right now today he's not feeling great. And for the past couple of days he hasn't been feeling great because I think of the flu shot. So yeah, so it's been hard. I haven't had as much time to edit. So I'm sorry that the videos have been a little bit sporadic lately, but I think we're going to get back on track in October.
Yeah.
Just being real with you. I think October is going to be when we are back to normal. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, hopefully. See, this was my idea. Print this out bigger, glue it to some cardboard, cut it out. Do that twice, and then sculpt the hood and trunk. So we would be making the hood and trunk ourselves.
That's literally what I'm saying, is to sculpt the hood and the trunk. But I'm going to make...
Time out.
Well, speaking of the baby's awake.
Yeah, you're
So
way
let's
down
go.
there.
Let's go get that baby.
Let's go get that baby.
This is something that we would always show Jackson, like waking up from his naps, because he was so stinking cute.
Oh.
And we haven't done that with the baby yet, with Oliver.
Let's see. There it is. This is Oliver's room. There he is.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Did you have a good nap? What's everything that's happening? Look at this.
How do you feel? You feel a little bit better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Ooh.
He's just dabbing with his legs.
And like his arms too, see?
You're in your little starfish swaddle?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Eh.
Let's see. Let's show him your fit. You
Oh.
got the drip. You got
He
the
does.
Halloween drip. You gonna show him?
Oh my gourd.
You wanna show everybody? There it is.
It says, "Oh my gourd, I love you so."
Because we do, bud.
Yeah.
You ready?
He's like,
Oh, man.
"What's happening here?" Hello. What's this big apparatus?
Here's something. Oh, he's grabbing my
Pulling your
hair.
hair.
Here's something that we haven't done, and I don't think we'll do it in this video, but we're done with his room.
Oh, yeah.
His nursery is, I would say, like 98% done. There was one piece of art that we didn't get for the wall behind you, but everything else is done. So once we clean it up, because he's grown out of so
everywhere.
much clothes. Well, he's grown out of so many things. We just have boxes of clothes everywhere.
Yeah. Also,
So-
there's a rainstorm happening at the beach right now.
Oh,
in his room.
We have his noise machine on. But yeah, let's go downstairs. Come on, Beb. So the other thing that's going on, because I forgot to also update, this is going to be like a little Oliver update, but we went to the doctor because he was having some issues with feeding. And I was nervous. I was like trying to figure out what was going on. Why wasn't he eating as like frequently and as like confidently as he was before? And so with some of the symptoms, we think that he has silent reflux. They started him on Pepcid, which is just like famotidine. And I think it's been helping.
Yeah.
But there... Yeah. But there are times, like every night, he just cries for like hours. He just cries and cries and cries. And sometimes he's like inconsolable. We just have to kind of like try to comfort him. Mm-hmm. And we try everything. I mean, we've literally tried everything.
Yeah.
So he just sometimes has to kind of cry for a minute. And yeah, so if it seems like we're tired, we are.
Very much so.
He also was waking up like every 20 minutes at one point. Mm-hmm. So we were literally not getting any sleep.
It would be like we'd put him down in the bed and then walk out of the room and start to go get ready to bed. Mm-hmm. And then he would wake up and he'd go back in the room.
Well, and I think this is kind of just, it's weird because he was such a good sleeper at first. We were getting like a full night's sleep. And then this happened. And I guess reflux kind of peaks at 5 to 6 months. So we should be hopefully getting sleep in about a month or two. Is what I'm hoping.
Hopefully.
But when
he says, I have another idea.
Yeah, I hope we can get sleep.
We will never get any sleep.
I hope we get sleep one day. But so if you're wondering how we're doing,
that was what he's doing.
In the iconic words of Dorinda Medley, not well. You can finish the rest of that.
Oh, Dorinda.
So.
I wanted to mention something. Speaking of Bravo,
mm-hmm.
right? So they released the prices for the new Disney Treasure, which is the ship that is debuting on the 21st of December next year.
What does that have the 21st of September?
December.
Oh, but wait, what does that have to do with Bravo?
Because they released the price of the Tower Suite, which is a 2-story, 8-person suite
mm-hmm.
on the Disney Treasure. There's also one on the Disney Wish,
mm-hmm.
but the price for it, for 2 adults and 1 child, was $97,000 for a 7-night cruise.
The thing that was really funny is Tim tweeted it out, right? He was like totally joking, but Tim tweeted it out. He said, $97,000 for this Tower Suite, no balcony, and it overlooks the smoking section. Like, sign me up.
Yeah.
Obviously a joke.
Right.
Like, it was very clearly not selling it. It was like a joke. And people were really thinking that we were going to be booking that.
People thought that we had already booked it.
We have not. We did not. And I would not book that suite purely because like there's no balcony. There's no balcony. You have no outdoor space to yourself.
Right. And the entire front of it is windows, and there's no way aside from closing those windows to have a private view.
Yeah, so like when we went on the Wish, we looked at we weren't like purposefully looking at the Tower Suite. We were taking pictures by one of the funnels. You know the mm-hmm. pictures that everybody takes on the Wish, like in front of the big funnels. So when you're taking that picture, you're literally directly across from the Tower Suite. And so we were taking these pictures, and the people in the Tower Suite were watching us, and they were like, hey, they were like waving at us.
Right.
And the only way to like have light in your room is to have that window open.
Right.
And you're just like, everybody can see you. Like we could see them clear as day.
Right.
So there's no privacy. It has
no privacy at all.
It has its own elevator, which is cool. But that's like the only cool thing. I just think like if I'm going to do one of those like ridiculous suites, which we're not, by the way, but like blue sky idea, if I was going to, I would do like the Aurora suite.
Right.
Like the 2-story regular suite with the balcony, with the hot tub. Like what's the point of the funnel suite? I guess I just don't understand the point of the funnel suite other than to say I spent this much money.
Right.
But like, what?
But Jen, it's themed after Epcot. No, not themed after Epcot. It has taken inspiration from Epcot.
It looks like it's nice. The pictures that they have out there are nice, but it's not very Disney. It's just like nice. You know what I mean?
Right. Feels like a Four Seasons rather than Disney.
Yeah, I don't know. So, and then the other thing that we also, hi buddy. The other thing that we have to do today is that Jackson's school, right? So he's been doing great in school. He's been loving school. He has a best friend in his class. It's so cute. We met him. We were doing the parent-teacher conferences, which Jackson's doing great. We're so happy that like he's excelling and just thriving in school. But there was another parent that was there that was like, oh, I'm here for my parent-teacher conference. And I was like, oh no, did I come at the wrong time? So we double checked, and like she had her wires crossed. So no big deal. But she was the mom of Jackson's little best friend in his class.
Yeah.
Because we said, oh, we're here for Jackson. And the kid goes, oh, Jackson. And I said, oh, do you know Jackson? And he said, yeah, Jackson's my best friend. And I said, oh my gosh, you must be his name. Because Jackson talks about this kid every day after school. And they're little best friends. And it's so cute.
It's true.
I'm so happy. Like, I'm so happy that Jackson's doing so great in school. But every Friday, they have show and tell. And it's not like it's not like bring a toy. It's like an educational thing.
Right.
And so they have a theme, and this Friday the theme is emergency like service workers, and so he's gonna do fireman, yeah. And so he went to the fire station recently, and it was great. He loved it, but we have to go get him a fire hat. So I think we're gonna go to Firehouse Subs and just get a kids meal because that comes with a fire hat.
So the whole reason I brought up the Tower Suite was because you mentioned Bravo.
Yeah.
And I think for $97,000, we could sail on
Yeah, like one of the below deck ships.
one of the below deck ships.
I think we could.
Yeah.
For like a week.
We're not going to.
No, but like
But-
how cool would that be?
What would you rather?
I would rather that.
Spend a week with Aisha,
Yeah, oh, I love her.
or spend a week with everybody looking in your room?
I think
The choice is yours.
I would much rather go on below deck.
Yeah, see all the drama.
Oh, I also looked
Have
at
them
that.
like iron my shirt incorrectly.
Oh, I looked at that. I looked at that to see like, oh, what if we could really do that, right? And you get a discount because they're filming you.
Oh yeah.
So it is like half off.
Oh, half off.
And then, which makes me wonder, like, why don't these people tip? Like, if you've ever seen the show Below Deck, where, oh gosh, thank you, buddy. If you've ever seen the show and they get a bad tip, I'm like, you must be really, really cheap because you already got the cruise, the yacht half price. So you
Right.
should be tipping better, right?
I mean, it's all for the drama of the show. I'm sure the producers were like, "Don't leave him a tip."
You think?
Yeah.
I would never want to go on TV and be the person that's like, oh, they didn't tip.
Right.
That's horrible.
I'm just saying.
Especially
it's
because I've worked in like the service industry.
scripted reality television show.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I would for sure go on Below Deck before I would friend. Hi, buddy. So let's go get some lunch though. Speaking of firemen.
But speaking of going and getting some lunch,
Yeah.
we can't leave just yet because
Oh yeah.
somebody had an enormous blowout in his car seat this
Oh,
morning.
yeah, we're drying. You probably can hear it in the background. We're drying his the pieces to his car seat that we washed
There you
because
go.
we had some big poops.
We'll see. We'll see
We
if it's
did
dry yet.
because we started solid
Solid
foods.
foods, yeah.
He's got weird poops now.
Yeah.
So
Like pooping out. Ooh, he's farting now. Like pooping out peanut butter. So I went to Firehouse Subs and they have this Fanta, mystery Fanta. I'm like, look at the colors that come out of here. It's like orange and green and black. I'm like, look at the final color of it. Ugh. Not looking so good. We'll see what it tastes like though. Oh look, there's like blue in there as well. Ooh, weird. Whoa. Okay.
what is it? What flavor is it?
I think it's all the flavors. It's
Oh,
like
is it?
orange.
Oh, it's weird. It's like orange and grape and something else.
What's green? What's green Fanta? Apple?
I don't know.
What's green Fanta? I can
can't
go over
place
there
it.
and look at it.
Can't
Maybe it's
place
just like Enmel yellow.
Oh, maybe.
Weird.
3 hours later.
So long story short, we wanted to go to Outback Steakhouse, and I'll explain more when we're inside. So here's what happened. Jackson has show and tell tomorrow, right? And for show and tell, he was going to do a police officer because it's about emergency services. And so he was going to do a police officer. So we were like, let's go find the police station and meet a police officer. We went to the police station and it was closed. So we decided to go to Outback instead. Getting some dinner. It's just the way that it works. It's getting late, so it would have been too late for us to get. It's like almost bedtime right now, but it would have been too late for us to get home and then cook dinner and then get ready for bed. So right now or he's out at Outback eating. But yeah, so instead, he's already been to a fire station and met a firefighter. So tomorrow you're going to do a little presentation, show and tell about a firefighter, right? And what do firefighters do?
Eat daddies.
They eat daddies? Oh no! What? That doesn't seem right. Are you sure? How do they eat daddies?
They just eat the rolling beer on their eyes.
Oh no, they eat my eyes?
Yeah.
These firefighters sound menacing. Alright, so we are back home after dinner, and now all the kids are asleep. Jackson actually fell asleep in the car on the way home, woke up when we got back in the house, and then promptly fell back asleep. Oliver fell asleep pretty darn quickly, so that's good. Hopefully that means that everybody's going to have a good night tonight. We'll see how that goes. Oliver's already woken up once. I say that. Like I say, he's going to have a good night, but he's already woken up once. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so now that the kids are asleep, I kind of want to get back into this Halloween costume thing. I got some foam core from Walmart, but we were originally planning on doing cardboard, but they have like black foam core. So might as well just use that, right? That seems easy enough. Black foam core, cut it out in the shape. Then you can use the rest, like to the other part of the foam core to like sculpt in the hood and everything. And Jen's in the office right now working on printing out photos for Jackson to take in for show and tell from when he went and he saw the firefighters stuff, the fire truck, went to the fire station. Very cute. He was very, very excited to do this. I'll show you guys these pictures. Let's check these out. Look at this cute little buddy right here. He's like, got the big hose, wearing a fire hat. Like living the life. Did you guys ever do this when you were a kid, or have you taken your kids to do this? Firefighters love it. You guys should give it a try. It's cool. It's a neat experience. So this is it. This is what foam core is. If you guys have never seen it, so there's a foam in the center there of two pieces of like paper. Not paper. It's like thicker paper, like poster board. So, and this is a presentation board or a poster board. There you go. And we'll just use it to cut the pieces out for Jackson Storm. So like I think that this right here could be probably both sides of the body right there. And then we use these to kind of like sculpt the hood and the trunk and the spoiler. Piece of cake, right? It's very late now, so we're probably not going to get started on making the costume.
No, but we did order the rest of our costumes.
Right.
So I think the main, like, Jackson is going to be like the star of the Halloween costume show.
Right.
He's going to be like the one, we're making his costume. We bought like ours.
Right.
So it'll be about him, which I think he's going to really love.
But also, like, it's interesting because, like we said earlier in the video, we made Jackson's Halloween costume when he was Piglet.
Yes.
That was his second Halloween?
No, that was his first
That was
Halloween.
his first ever Halloween.
Yeah.
But he was also older than Oliver is.
Yeah, so the thing about Oliver's first Halloween, and this is actually like, so we're buying a costume for a cruise.
Right.
The cruise is before Halloween.
Right.
So we still have time to make Oliver his like actual costume.
Right.
You know?
But what are we going to make him? Because Jackson could wear a costume because he was older and he could like sit up on his own.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Whereas like Oliver can't sit up on his own yet.
Yeah.
He can't crawl.
Right, yeah.
I don't know if Jackson was walking or not. No, he didn't start walking until his first birthday, right? Or that's when he started talking.
No, he started walking the day after his first
that's what it
birthday.
was.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that I could make Oliver, like, he could wear the Piglet costume, no problem. You know what I mean? Like, that's an okay costume for him. Mm-hmm. But I don't want him to just be the same thing that Jackson was. I want to make him something special. So, TBD.
Right.
More on that later.
Right.
Maybe. But we got him a costume that goes along with Jackson's costume. So, I don't know. I'm just excited for it. Jackson's, like, very excited. He picked out his costume. You know what I mean? Like, he said, this is what I want to be.
Yeah.
So, there you go. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And then when Oliver says, you know, this is what I want to be for Halloween, then it'll be all about him.
Yeah.
I'm excited, though. I think it's going to be cute.
I think so, too. Long story short, we got our parts of the costume.
Long story short,
Long story short, tomorrow. And we're going to make Jackson's.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this.
What?
Real quick. Do you have kids? If you have kids...
Do you like horsey sauce?
Do you like horsey sauce? how unhinged were commercials in the late 90s, early 2000s? Like the Quiznos commercials?
You got a pepper bar.
Yeah, we've got a pepper bar. We've been talking a lot about this sort of thing where, like, the time that we grew up in had things that are blowing kids' minds these days.
Okay.
Like, we were talking about Lilith Fair.
Right.
And, like, kids are like, you had what?
Well, I saw a TikTok of a girl that was like, did you know that there was like an all-female, like
Music fest?
music, like a music festival. And they were talking about like Lilith Fair, and I'm like, do people not know about this?
Right. That I understand why people don't know about that. Because it wasn't as mainstream as it should have been.
It was mainstream.
No, but it wasn't.
At the time.
It wasn't, though. Like, it wasn't Pearl Jam.
I mean, I bought the CD.
But at the same time, I say it wasn't Pearl Jam, but there are kids out there that have no idea who Pearl Jam is.
Yeah, well, they weren't like big to me. Pearl Jam wasn't big to me.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like all of the bands that we listen to,
yeah,
kids don't know who they are. I bring this up because just recently I was talking to Nick, and he's like, I was like, the Beastie Boys. He's like, I don't know who the Beastie Boys are. And I was like, you don't know who the Beastie Boys are? And it blew my mind. He's like, I've heard the name before, but I couldn't tell you any of their songs.
Hello, editing me from the next day. It's tomorrow. I realized there's a clip after the last clip that you just saw where we started talking about boy bands. And I guess we weren't recording the beginning of this clip. So I need a segue because it's not going to make any sense. So basically we were just talking about how we have a friend, Nick, who doesn't know some of the music that we used to listen to. And then we started talking about music of the 90s and 2000s, which brought us into boy bands. And then we started talking about 98 Degrees for some reason. And then that goes into this next clip where we then look up a 98 Degrees song and we talk about it. So that's what's happening now, just as a little bit of context because we weren't recording the beginning of the clip. So here you go.
All right, so we just looked up 98 Degrees, Invisible Man. To me, a bit creepy.
It was not a good song.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't a good song. So
how is Nick Lachey like famous?
Didn't he marry what's her name? Jessica Simpson?
I do think that that's part of the reason why
because nobody else is famous from the group.
But she wasn't super famous either.
Yeah, but together, their fame added.
I think they kind of were like the Kardashians in that way. Like the Kardashians are famous for being famous.
Yeah.
Like they didn't like. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson like was a singer and she was in that whole like Britney, Christina like era. But I feel like she was more along the lines of Mandy Moore, who was like
Mandy Moore is way more famous than any of them
now. But back then she wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like she wasn't Britney.
Okay.
She was like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now she is 100%. But like, I would put Jessica Simpson and Mandy Moore in the same boat. They were like trying so hard.
Yeah.
To be like the Britney.
Yeah.
The Christina.
And they were missing us like candy.
They were. I used to love that song.
Listen, it was weird being from Orlando at this time.
Yeah, all of those bands were from here or lived here.
Everybody was from Orlando. A friend of mine's mom played tennis with Mandy Moore's mom.
Yeah.
I went to school with kids that were in a boy group that were being managed by Ron Perlman.
So, Lou
Pearlman.
So, who's Ron Perlman?
I don't know.
I think that's the guy that plays Hellboy.
Oh, yeah. It is.
Not him. He wasn't managing boy groups. So, in Orlando, if you lived here in the 90s, there was this store by the mall called Peaches.
Yeah.
And they had, on the outside of the store, there were these, like, big squares of, like, famous singers.
Right.
And so it would be like who was like big at the time. They would change it. It was like changing. And so they would have like boy groups, and there was one from Orlando that was called like Take 5. Is that a boy group?
Maybe.
But like if you were on the outside of Peaches, it was like you were a big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so there were tons of these like boy groups that were like O-Town was on there.
Yeah.
You know, O-Town lived in Orlando.
They're from Orlando. It's literally what's called O-Town.
Yeah. That's right.
That's it. Or O-Town. Orlando. By the way, we used to call Orlando O-Town.
Yeah.
We should bring that back.
Who stopped? When do we stop?
When the Magic stopped using it. I don't know why the Magic stopped using it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like living in Orlando, you love boy bands.
No, you didn't love it. It was just like they were around you everywhere.
I loved him.
Yeah, you did. Speaking of boy bands, it's been kind of like interesting to me that like NSYNC is getting back together.
Oh yeah.
So they're doing the song for Trolls, I think, and another song.
But are they getting back together, or is it just this one?
Just this one song.
That makes me feel bad for everybody but Justin Timberlake.
Right? And I think
Because it's like putting a carrot in front of them, and they're like, "Oh, that carrot smells so good! Like it's so close, I can taste it."
Right.
And like they're gonna be like famous again.
Well, is Lance Bass still? Lance Bass still is more famous than the rest of them, right?
He does like I think he's famous because he's friends with a lot of like Andy Cohen. He
I
was
thought
like
he
on
hosted a show or something.
Well, he was
didn't
on like reality TV shows and stuff.
Right.
But I don't know that he's like super famous still.
Okay.
I would say on the fame scale, it's probably Justin Timberlake, and then Lance Bass, and then Joey Fatone,
Right.
and then probably Chris Kirkpatrick,
Really?
and then JC. I think
Oh yeah,
JC
you're right. I
doesn't
haven't
do like
seen
anything.
JC. He's
Yeah.
like he came back with long hair, and I was like, "Who's this guy?
Yeah.
Where did he come from?"
He's like not trying to be famous, so like he isn't famous.
Right.
But Chris Kirkpatrick, I think he is on things when they're talking about like the 90s and 2000s.
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
he's like the 90s documentaries on VH1. He's like, I'm there.
Yeah, he's like trying. But
Yeah, I'm
JC,
there.
right.
But it's also strange being from Orlando, and then like we see Joey Fatone around.
Yeah.
I ate a hot dog from his hot dog truck.
He's like a local celebrity.
Right, and
Yeah.
he's like at Universal all the time. If you guys are hot tip for those of you guys that are like maybe interested in seeing Joey Fatone, no guarantee. But he has been known to go to Rising Star at Universal City Walk and just like
Oh, and
pop
like
up and sing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's weird that like Justin Timberlake is like walking around and they're at the VMAs, and then you see like Joey Fatone, you're like,
That's the
that
hot
guy.
dog man.
Yeah, like he's bought a hot dog from that guy.
I hope they do good. I hope that they like. I hope this. What?
You're like, I hope those guys make it one day. One
Well,
day
I
they're
mean,
gonna be
like,
famous.
Again, you know what I mean? Like again. I hope
Yeah.
they. Yeah.
I don't think that. You think that they're going to keep going, or do you think Justin Timberlake was just like he woke up bored one day? I was like, I'm gonna call the boys,
I don't know. Maybe.
and then just like
Well, I think because
I think he produced the song and everything too.
maybe yeah. I think that because the 2000s and like it's all coming back. You know.
Yeah.
Like okay, so here's a funny story. Our summer nanny for Jackson, she's gone. She left. She went back to college, but she was like 20.
Yeah.
You know, and so I kind of learned what was like trendy from her, sort of, you know? So she was helping me with, I was going to set up a Depop shop or like a Poshmark shop of like my old clothes from the 2000s.
Yeah.
I even had a couple of things from like the 90s. And so I wanted to set up like a Depop shop with those things because I don't need them. And I think they're kind of in style right now. And they're like legitimately from that time period.
Yeah.
So it's like vintage. And so I had her help me like tell me what she thought would sell. And she's like, oh, this would sell. Like she kind of told me the trends.
Right.
And I thought it was really interesting that all of it's coming back.
Yeah. So catch us next week wearing all of our 90s clothes.
Well, they don't fit me anymore. So that's why I wanted to start the shop because I want somebody to wear them.
Right.
I can't wear them. But let me know if you guys are interested in that because what I was thinking about doing was maybe making just like an Instagram account and just selling it there.
Right.
Because I feel like it's more user friendly just to do it on Instagram. Depop and Poshmark are just like not as user friendly to me because I've never used them. So anyway, leave that in the comments. Tell me what you think because I got some cool stuff.
What bands did you listen to in the 90s or 2000s that you are surprised that people don't know who they are?
Ooh, well, I guess yeah, like Beastie Boys is surprising to me.
Yeah. Do you guys know who Beastie Boys are?
Who like in the 90s? Who was like my favorite in the 2000s? So maybe like my senior year. I loved Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray was somebody else that we see all the time. Yeah. He's like at Eat to the Beat every year. We walk up and see Mark McGrath and like all of his plastic surgery.
It's so oh yeah, it's true. But I loved like that CD. I loved.
By the way, Sugar Ray was a hardcore band.
I know they only had like one song, which was the one.
Yeah, which was Someday.
Someday, yeah.
You look around and wonder why you were never there for me.
No, baby, don't say a
Oh,
word. Yeah. So, okay, funny story too. In our bathroom, we have a storage closet in our bathroom down here.
Oh, yeah.
I have an entire humongous box full of CDs. Full of CDs from the 90s and from the 2000s. The stuff I listened to.
Yeah.
And the
CDs are all degraded now.
Another thing, no, but, are they?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, dang, because people are buying CDs again.
What?
Yeah, I was reading a whole article about how, like, CDs are making a resurgence. And
I
how
thought it was going to be cassettes. Did cassettes never make a resurgence? I had all my money on cassettes.
I don't know, but people are buying CDs again, which I thought was, like, so weird because, like, who has a CD player?
They're buying CD players again.
Where?
It's like a Polaroid camera.
It kind of is.
Or like a Instamax.
I think because people are, like, craving physical media.
Right.
Because everybody's doing, like, digital and it's being taken away from them.
Right.
So they want to, like, have it. But yeah, so I have this huge box of CDs. Another band, I used to love the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Right.
That was another band that I was like, who did I listen to?
I'm going to try to throw out as many.
Like, obvious Britney, like, obvious ones. Christina.
I'm going to throw out some like, real rare ones. Like, some one-hit wonders.
Okay.
Jimmy's Chicken Shack.
Okay. All right. It is the next morning.
And sometime later,
This little baby woke up and
he cried.
he cried until like 3 o'clock in the morning. And then we finally got to go to sleep. We woke up late. Jackson went to school. He wasn't late, surprisingly. We usually bring him in earlier than we did this morning, but he wasn't late.
Yeah.
He was ready for his presentation about the firefighters, and he knew exactly what they did. He wore his little hat. So we were talking about babies.
No, we were talking about bands.
Well, before that, I think we're done talking about bands.
I only named one band. I had Everclear.
Oh, for what we listened to in high school?
Yeah, and bands that like maybe nobody has heard of.
Oh, right.
So I had Everclear. I had Brimful of Asher.
Brimful of Asher on the 45. Who sang that, though?
That's the name of the band.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
The name of the song was 45.
Ah, okay.
And then, what was my other one? I had one more. Oh, Fastball.
Oh,
Where were they going without ever knowing the way?
And that was like about an actual couple that disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was a true crime.
Oh, and then here's a band that you guys might have heard of because it was in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Space Hog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so last night was rough. And we were talking about it, right? Because Jackson, he was such an easy baby. Like, he was good at sleeping. He was never like, he didn't cry for hours in the middle of the night. But then, so he was a calm baby, but he's kind of like a wild
child.
like toddler and preschooler. So it makes me wonder if Oliver...
Look for me.
Are you sharing your pips with Daddy? He's like, nope. But it makes me wonder if Oliver's going to be like a calm...
He dropped it.
A calm older kid because he's such like a wild baby.
He'll definitely be a calm old man. Calm old man named Oliver.
I don't know. I'm interested to see how he is.
Oh, sorry. Back to the bands really quick because this was something else that I thought of last night.
What?
Was, you know how we were talking about how like nobody's heard of the Beastie Boys?
Yeah.
Like, do you think people have heard of like Green Day?
Yes.
Green Day.
Yeah, I do think.
Not Blink-182.
What?
Because I think kids have heard of Blink-182, but I don't know that they've heard of Green Day.
I wouldn't even compare. They're not the same.
I know they're not the same, but in my mind,
them.
I was just thinking of different bands.
One of the songs that I think about when I think about like 90s, like, I guess it would be early 2000s, super late 90s. Do you remember Dream? The band that, I think Puff Daddy was the one that like came up. And they sang that song, He Loves Me Not. I think about like burned CDs that I used to have.
Oh, yeah.
And that was one of the ones that was like a bop.
Yeah.
It was a banger, if you will.
Bangers and mash.
It was a... Yeah. But so this morning, we went to Starbucks. We took Jackson to school.
Oh, yeah, here's a coffee order.
But yeah, I wanted to tell you guys my coffee order because I think I talked about it in an earlier video and then I never actually told you my coffee order. And this is my order now. I order this every time. So let me read it off to you. This is what it looks like. I've drank like half of it. But it's a venti shaken espresso iced. It is half calf, so half decaf, half regular. It is no classic, like no syrup, no classic syrup, no 2% milk. Instead, I do a splash of vanilla sweet cream, and I top it with vanilla sweet cream cold foam, vanilla cold foam. And that's it. That's my drink.
Yeah.
And it's so wonderful. And I actually got it from one of you, told me your order, and you were like, try this. But yours was like, it had toffee nut, and it had vanilla sweet cream cold foam. It was a little too sweet for me.
So I've just been modifying your order until I found my order,
Right.
which is this one. So try it. It's like not super sweet, just sweet enough, very delicious. This is my order forever now. I got my order.
You know what my order is?
What?
Decaf oat milk peppermint mocha.
Yeah.
Because I love Christmas coffee flavors.
I think the weird thing about yours is that you get hot coffee.
I get hot coffee.
And it's so hot here.
Yeah, but it's nice because the peppermint cools it off.
Oh yeah.
That's our coffee
So
order.
I think today what we're gonna do is we have a stay that we're doing today, and I'm very excited because we are doing something fun this weekend
Yeah,
that I haven't been able to do yet.
should be pretty
I
awesome.
can't wait to do it, and you'll get to see that next week. But we also have to try to figure out the Halloween costume. We have to pack today. There's just so much that has to happen.
Got to clean up before we leave.
Yes.
A lot of stuff that's got to happen. So,
Yeah.
I think we're going to call it a day and start on that stuff.
So thank you for hanging out with us. Sorry this video was just us rambling for like 57 hours.
Love it.
Let us know if you would like a different home vlog where we're not just rambling, or if you like this.
Yeah.
But thank you for letting us do a home vlog. These are a lot easier for me to edit. And hopefully we'll get to do more home vlogs. I miss these.
Yeah.
I miss just like hanging out with you guys.
What happened to your Pippi?
Oh, he dropped it. It's right here.
Oh.
Here it is. There you go.
So, there you have it. All in all, it was a fantastic day. And with that being said, we are off. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
And now it's time to pay the price.